Hello students, I am your English mentor and today I have come up with a very interesting chapter and it's called the talkative turtle. Now, what does the word talkative means? It means a person who talks a lot or who likes to talk to people very much. So, this is a story about a turtle who used to love talking. Now, let's see what happens because of this habit of his. So, match the animals with their homes. This is just a short exercise for you. So without any further delay, let's just start off with the chapter. So now read this story about a turtle who did not listen to his friends. So in this story, there is a turtle and his friends. So let's see how the turtle did not listen to his friends and something happened. So once there lived a turtle and a pair of swans in a beautiful lake surrounded by mountains. So as you can see in the image, there was a pair of swans and there was a turtle. They used to live together in a very beautiful lake which was surrounded by mountains. After that, the turtle and the swans were friends. So the turtle and the swans were both friends with one another. So they would spend all their free time together, telling each other stories and exchanging news and gossip. So the swans and turtle in their free time would just talk to each other, exchange news and gossip. So gossip is to again talk. So all three of them used to talk all day long whenever they get free time. So the turtle specially loved to talk and chatter and always had something to say. So since the turtle was the most talkative, it always had something or the other to say to them, and also uh, without any reason he would just talk a lot. So after that, let's see what happens. So one year the rains did not come and the lake began to dry up. So one fine year in the beautiful lake where they used to live, the rain did not occur. So they were all worried whether this lake will stay alive or not. So the swans became worried and they wanted to know whether this lake will survive or dry up entirely. After that, what if it does not rain at all and the lake dries up completely? So they were thinking, what if it doesn't rain for the entire season? Will this lake dry up completely? Will this get dry and we will all die? Why? Because swan live in water only. And then where did we live in that case? So, said Mrs. Swan, so where are they going to live if this lake dries up? And then, indeed, that is a cause for concern, replied Mr. Swan. So, they said, yes, it is definitely a matter of concern. And what can be done if we have to move from this place? Well, I have a plan, said the turtle. Now, all three of them were discussing this problem that if the lake dries up because of no rains, then what will we do? So, both Mr. and Mrs. Swan were worried. Then Turtle came up with a plan. So, why don't you two fly in search of a lake that still has plenty of water? So, the turtle suggested that since both of you can fly, Swan is a bird and birds can fly, so both of you can fly and look for a lake that has plenty of water. Once you find such a lake, all three of us could move there. So just for once, if you find a lake which has a lot of water, then all three of us can move to that lake and this is going to be the solution of our problem. And then the swans agreed and flew off. So the swan agreed to the plan and they started flying. After flying for few hours, they found the perfect lake. So they were very happy to find a perfect lake after they kept on searching for a few hours. So they returned to the turtle with the good news. So when they returned, they had the good news with them. So we have found a lovely lake which is full of water, said Mrs. Swan excitedly. So they came back to the turtle to share the good news. And what did they say? That we have found a lake which is full of water, right? But there's a problem. The new lake is too far off for you to walk to it. Now, the birds can fly, but the turtle cannot fly. And since the lake is very far off, the turtle cannot even walk for so long. So, the only problem of moving to the new lake was it was very far off from the lake they were living at. So, the swans did not want to leave their friend behind, and both the swans did not had any idea of leaving their friend behind. But how could the turtle reach there? I mean, how can the turtle even reach the other lake, because it cannot walk for so long? The turtle thought for a while and came up with another plan. So again the turtle started to think that what can be done with which all three of us can move to the new lake. And then he came up with another plan. So can you find a strong stick? She asked the swans. So the turtle asked that can you people find good sticks and strong sticks? You can hold it in your beaks. I will then hang onto the stick with my mouth, and you could fly me with me to a new lake. So he came up with the idea that both of you can keep this stick between your beaks, and I am also going to hold this with my mouth, and this is how both of you, while flying, I will also be there with you. The swans liked the idea, though they were worried about the turtle might begin talking and fall off the stick. So the swans really liked the idea that they hold the stick, and from the middle of it, even the turtle holds the stick with the mouth. But they were just worried because the turtle was very talkative and it could open its mouth at any point of time. And the moment he opens his mouth, he is going to fall off from the stick. So the swans were very worried. And then they said, you must be careful not to open your mouth while we are flying with you. They warned her. So both the swans warned the turtle that make sure you do not open the mouth while we are flying. So do you think you will be able to be quiet for such a long time? So the swans asked that do you really think you will be able to stay quiet for so long for us traveling from this lake to that one? Will you be able to keep quiet? This was asked by the swans to the turtle. After that, of course, said the turtle, I will be careful. I know when not to talk. So the turtle replied that of course I know when I should not be talking and when I should be talking. So the swans did as she asked. They found a strong stick and each swan held one end of it in its beak. So after that, what happened was the swans found the stick and they held it between their beaks. The turtle held on to the middle with her mouth and away they flew, all three of them. So as you can see in the image, the swans were holding the stick and the turtle was also holding it from their mouth, and all three of them were able to fly happily. So it was the most exciting feeling, that thing that ever happened to the turtle. Now imagine an animal that always stays on the land starts to fly. So that was the best thing happening to the turtle. She was amazed at the way the world looked from so far above the ground. So she was so happy to see the world and what it looks like from above. So because this was the view that the turtle has never had before, but the birds are used to this view. So she was longing to say something but remembered in time to keep quiet. So the turtle was so happy and really wanted to say something, but it remembered that it's flying, and if it speaks, then it will fall. So it should not speak anything at all. So it chose to stay quiet. Then, at last, they reached the lake the swans had found. It was a beautiful lake, large and blue, with plenty of water. So finally, they kept on traveling and flying and moving, and eventually they reached the lake. The lake was very clean and beautiful. Oh, look, the turtle began in excitement, too much, remembering much too late to keep quiet. So, finally, the turtle was so excited and it just could not stay quiet, right? And it was just not able to hold the excitement. And then the stick slipped from her mouth and down she fell from the sky onto the rocks below. Now, when the turtle saw the lake, it was very excited and it just could not control itself. So it spoke. And what did it say? Oh, look. And the moment the turtle said it, the turtle fell from the sky to the rocks. So, the swans were sad to see their friend, the turtle, fall and hurt herself only because she did not know when to stop talking. So, the swans were very upset about the fact that they trusted the turtle and the turtle did not know when not to talk, and which was why the turtle fell on the rocks and hurt herself. So, this was our story on the talkative turtle. Now, can you extract the moral from this story? Yes. The moral is a person should be aware of when to talk and when not to talk. Because of this, a lot of good and bad things happen. And a person should always, like a turtle, know that talking too much is not going to bring any good things to them. So, we should talk less, and whenever we talk, it should be necessary, and we should not be talking or gossiping unnecessarily. This is the main and the most important message from today. Now, since we have already discussed this chapter, we are going to attempt a few exercises together. So, first up, we have the MCQ questions. Herein, you are going to get one question, and that one question will have three statements. So, from those three answers or options, only one of them is correct. So, are you going to help me find that one option? Yes. Let's begin. So, once there lived a turtle and a pair of ducks, swans, or fish in a beautiful lake. So, the pair was of swans. Yes. And then, after flying for several hours, the swans found the perfect dash mountain, river, or lake. So, the swans found the perfect lake. After that, they were worried about stick, big lake, or drying lake. So, they were all worried about the drying lake initially. And then, who spoke too much? Turtle, Mr. Swan, or Mrs. Swan? It was Turtle. Now, we are supposed to fill in a few blanks. So, the turtle and the swans were friends. What were they? They were friends. The turtle loved to talk and gossip. The swans did not want to leave their friend behind. The turtle said she knows when not to talk. The turtle held on to the middle of her with her mouth. She was dashed to say something but remembered in time to keep dash. So she was about to, in fact, excited to say something but remembered in time to keep quiet. So, this is how we filled in all of these blanks. And now you are going to attempt the descriptive questions by yourself in the book itself. Also, these are the descriptive questions that, as I have said, you are going to attempt yourself in the book because you have understood this chapter very clearly. Moving on, we are going to attempt this word building exercise. So, write the name of the young ones of these animals. Choose the correct words from the box. So, now we are going to understand what are the young ones of these animals called. So, the young one of a cat is called a kitten. The young one of a cat is called a kitten. The young one of a swan is called cygnet. And then for the duck, it's called the duckling. For the turtle, it's called the hatchling. For the cow, it's called the calf. And now read these sentences. So, the turtle loved to talk. She spent her time by telling stories and gossip. So, the words talk and gossip mean the same thing. Now, when I say I am talking and when I say I am gossiping, when I say I am chattering, then all the words mean the same. So, talk, gossip, and chatter, they all mean the very same. Now, complete these sentences with words that mean the same as the words in color. Now, here are a few words colored in each line. So, we have to fill in the words which means exactly the same. Use the correct words from the box. And we are also given help box and hints so that we can fill in the blanks that we are given with. So, the swans returned to the turtle with the good news. It was dash for her and she loved it. So, the synonym or the same word for good is great. The word is great. The giant has big feet and dash hands. So, the same word for big is large. So, we can write large here. So, the giant has big feet and large hands. Next up we have a frog can hop fast, a rabbit can also dash fast. So the same word for hop is jump. The word is jump. And then your room looks so clean. I will keep my room neat too. So the word is neat. The word that goes the same with clean is neat. And lastly, turtle is sad. She is dash today. She is unhappy today. And this is how we have filled in all the parts of this particular question. Right, students? Yes. So I hope you understood the topic by now. Now let's move further. So here are some more grammar questions. Now read these sentences with me. A turtle lived in a lake. The swans fly in search of a lake. So the words in colored are nouns. A noun is a naming word. So words like turtle, lake, swans and lake, what are they? They are the nouns. And nouns are the naming words. And what do they name? They name a person, place, animal or a thing. So whatever we call a person, place, animal or a thing, they are all part of nouns. So, we use a common noun for any person, place, animal or a thing. It begins with a small letter. So, common nouns, for example, lake, tree, river, they are all commonly called names for any of these things, then we always use a small letter for them. But a proper noun is a special name for a person, a place, a thing, or an animal. So, proper nouns are the words that we use for special words. Now, what are those special names or words? They are used for a name, person, place, animal, or a thing. So, it always begins with a capital letter. Example is turtle, swan, Agra. They are all specific, special, proper nouns. Now, match the common nouns and the proper nouns to the correct pictures. Now herein we are given common nouns and proper nouns. We are supposed to match them. Now the biggest question is, what are common nouns? Let's just do a quick recap of what we studied. So common nouns are the names of the words that we use commonly, that we refer to very normally. They do not specify a person. For example, when I say there is a boy standing there, then the word boy is a common noun. But when I say that there is Aman standing there, so the name Aman is a proper noun. Now we are going to match these words. So bird, a bird is right here, and the example would be sparrow. After that, boy, who is the boy here? Boy is this one, and his name is Rajesh. Then we have a girl. So a girl is right here, and her name is Cinderella. After that, a building. So a building is this one, and this is Taj Mahal. After that, we have a park, and for park we are going to match it with Atom Park. So this is how we joined all the common noun and the pictures with the proper nouns. Moving ahead, we are going to do one more exercise related to it. So circle the proper nouns and underline the common nouns in these sentences. So we are given 5 sentences and we have to circle the proper nouns and underline the common nouns. So the swans found a strong stick for the turtle. Now what is a proper noun here? Proper nouns are swans and turtle. But what is a common noun here? Common noun is a stick, because stick doesn't have a name of its own and it's a thing. And all the other words are not nouns. They are not naming words. After that, Alicia loves to eat vegetables. So, Alicia is proper noun and vegetables is common noun. Why? Because which vegetable are you talking about? We don't know. So, Mumbai is a big city. Mumbai is a proper noun and city is a common noun. After that, Rashmi has a pet called Oscar. Now, Rashmi and Oscar, they are both proper nouns and pet is a common noun. Lastly, Arav will not go to school today. So, Arav is a proper noun and school is a common noun. Now, it's your duty to complete this listening time exercise in the book itself. Moving ahead, we will see some pronunciation and let's write activity. Pronounce each of these words at least 5 times so that you can draw the difference between the pronunciation of these words. After that, write and fill in the blanks about whatever you feel and observe here. Towards the end, the life skill is, should we talk too much? If yes, why? And if no, why not? Then the biggest question from today's chapter is whether we should be talking a lot or we should not be talking too much. So this is a decision that you need to make yourself, that when is it necessary to talk a little longer and when it is necessary to stay quiet. After that, this is again a very small fun time activity for all of you. And with this, we have come to an end to today's session. But do not forget to share this story with your friends and family, and do not ever forget the message that you got from today's chapter, which is to not talk too much because it will end up hurting you and harming you. Now, I really hope that you have a great day ahead. Now, take care and bye bye.